Hello, and thank you for joining me this morning in the Custom Products webinar today. Today we'll be reviewing how to create and add custom products to our ESP websites and company stores. Custom products are products that you may want to customize for your website or company store. For example, there may be a product in ESP that you only want to offer in a specific color or a product you want to have special pricing on. They may also be products that aren't currently available in ESP or products that you offer yourself as an extra service to your client. So first, let's cover copying a product that already exists in ESP. To reach the custom products area, we can log into espweb.asicentral.com and access the website's admin tab as displayed here. As a note, if you have any questions on the material as we're reviewing the webinar, you can feel free to type them in the questions box. And as appropriate, I will either provide you the answer or I can address it at the end of the webinar. Once we're in the website's admin, we'll be navigating to the Global Features menu at the top blue bar and clicking on Custom Products. Once this loads up, we can copy a product currently available in ESP by clicking on the Search and Copy button on the right-hand side. From here, we're brought to the Quick Search menu. For this, we can type in the products we want to copy. In this case, for the webinar, we'll be using the K500 shirt from Sanmar. And you'll see below here is the Sanmar version of our K500. To copy this, we can click the Create Custom Product link at the bottom. And this will bring us to the basic details. At this point, the product has been copied onto our account and we can begin working with it. The first area I like to check is the basic details. If this is a product that you only want to offer to a specific client as part of a company store, for example, checking this private box on the right-hand side will allow it to only be visible when you add it to a product collection. If this is unchecked, your customers will be able to search for it in their websites. So in this example, we do need it for a company store, so we'll click the private box. Moving on down the line, here's the basic details of the product, such as its name, description, a quick summary of it. If you'd like to edit any of this information to be relevant to your customer, you can absolutely do that here. I also like to edit the product number as a point, so that way we know when a customer orders this product and we receive it, that we know we're looking at the custom version of the product rather than the one from ESP. So here we'll just do Custom Products Webinar, K500. If you're copying a product from ESP, most of this information will already be filled in, since we are using the supplier version of the product. And once you're happy with this, we can move on to the Attributes tab. The Attributes tab displays all of the product colors, sizing, material, shape, and weight options that we have available for the item. And once again, since we've copied this product from a supplier's listing in ESP, all of their product options are currently shown on the item. On the left-hand side here, starting from the top, we have the colors. You'll see there are quite a few colors depending on what product you copy. Below the product colors, we'll have the product sizing. For apparel, the standard and numbered is pretty standard, and there are sizing options available here. If you'd like to edit any of the colors available for an item, you can click the X here to remove them. And as a note, if you delete a value that affects the pricing of the product, you'll be given a warning here before you're actually going to do the change. So you can click OK if you're going to be adjusting the pricing, or if you'd like to work with it, you can click Cancel. But since we want to adjust the pricing for our product, we'll be clicking OK here. We only want black, navy, and gray, so we'll just take a moment here to remove all these. And if you find through the process that you're clicking on a lot, because there are quite a few options here, at the top of this, you'll see a Clear All button. Clicking that will remove every color option from the product. Once we clear all, you can click the color swatches at the top here to add them back into the menu. Please be aware if you're ordering from a supplier such as Sanmar who has specific names from their colors, you may need to rename the color here by clicking on this rename link, and then we can just return it to navy blue. You can also adjust the hue here as well, so that we know it's a dark blue. Normally also our customer may want some special sizing available or to restrict the sizing available for a particular item. In our case, our customer only wants to offer extra small through 4X, so we can check the boxes here to remove the different sizing options. Once we're happy with what options we have here in the attributes, we can move on to the Imprinting tab. In the Imprinting menu, you can select the imprint method available for an item, as well as various options such as colors, imprint locations, etc. For our example, our client wants this shirt to be embroidered, so we can come under Select Method here and choose the embroidery and click Add. This will add the embroidered method to our product. And if you had any special coloring, let's say it's going to be a shirt embroidered with a white imprint, we can come here and click white, and then we'll have to separate it with a comma. So we do white comma, and that will add it as a box here at the above the text box. We can also add any relevant production details such as production time, roast service, same day. But more often than not, since we're working with the supplier's products, we'll be using their information for most of these fields. When we're happy with this, we can move on to the Pricing tab. Now, since we removed all of the colors, it reset our price grids for us. If you don't remove all of the colors and you'd like to reset the price grid still, there's this gear here that says Reset. This will return it to using a single price grid. When we confirm that change, it will bring us to this screen here, much the same way. For custom products, we commonly have a scenario where our customer wants a certain price for that item that their employees or customers would then pay. In those scenarios, we can come up here to the price type and change it to list price. Once again, we'll confirm that change. And you'll see here that the price grid now only allows us to edit the list price as opposed to the net cost. So since our product is embroidered in white, and we know that all products will be offered with that color, and we set up our pricing as such, we can come here to the box that says Price Includes, and we can state that it includes left chest embroidery Here we can start configuring our price grid. So if a product has multiple quantities where there'll be price breaks, you can do something like this where you'll have 1, 6, 12, etc. If you're only offering it on a per piece basis, you can just leave it at the 1. And for this purpose, our customer wants to charge $15 for that shirt. Regardless of any editing you do on the price grid, we do need a price code. And since we don't have any kind of markup or anything, we're going to be using the 0% markup. And here you'll note that it filled in that grid completely. Once we're happy with this, we can move on to the Media tab. And here you'll see all the default product images available for this K500 shirt. Now these are all the product images that were supplied by Sanmar when we copied the product. If you'd like to remove any of these images, you can click on the X on the right-hand side here. And while we want to keep the black, maybe we want to get rid of the burgundy since we no longer offer that color. And here you'll notice that any image that has a virtual sample applied to it, when we go to delete that image, it will warn us that we're deleting that virtual sample. If you want to keep virtual samples on your products, I would advise against deleting the virtual sample images for the colors that you need, mostly because there is no way to restore them once we remove them from a supplier-made product. So once again, we can just remove these virtuals for this color, and we want to keep the navy since we have that. If you have an image, let's say you got a virtual from the supplier, and you wanted to add that to your product with your customer's logo already applied to it, you can use this Upload Product Image area to choose an image. This will browse your computer, which I don't have any images available here, but you can browse your computer and then click the Upload once you choose the file. That will add it to the list of images here. For the sake of argument, I believe we can look under... No, we don't have any here. So once we're happy with the media here, we can move back to the summary. And in the summary, we'll be given one final chance to review the product information before we make the product active. If you'd like to make any changes on this screen, just let's say the description, you can click the Edit here, and this will allow you to edit this text field before we finalize our selections. You can also return to any of the tabs at the top, or by clicking on the gear icons as we go about the summary of the product here. Once we're happy with this, we can click Make Active. The system will check the product for any errors and then give us this message saying that we have successfully been processed. If there are any errors, it will warn us as to what information is missing on the item. So we can click OK here, and our product will take approximately 30 to 60 minutes, roughly, to be available in ESP and usable for our different stores and websites. Next, let's go over making a custom product from scratch. To return to our custom products area, we can click on the Manage My Products link at the top. And here on the Manage Products screen, rather than clicking Search and Copy, let's click Add a New Product. Here we'll be able to choose our product name, description, and our product type. So going with our same customer, they want a customized golf polo that we actually provide as well. So we have to give it a name, fill in the description, so we'll say custom golf polo for custom product webinar. And we'll also have to select a product type. For our purposes, the apparel and outerwear type works just fine. So we can click Apply. And here, when we create the product, we're brought to the basic details because there is some information here that we still need to provide. Depending on your region or location, you may want to restrict the market segment for your product. So currently, here you can see that our product is available to both people in the US and Canadian markets. Since I am based in the US, I would like to only offer it to my US clients. And since this is something that I provide for my clients, I'm not going to check private because it's something I can sell outside of that company store. As always, it's good to provide a product number. Just make something up here for example's sake. And the only other piece of information we require on this screen is the category. That the product cannot be made active if the product category is empty. By clicking the Choose a Category option here, and we want it to be a product category, we'll be brought to a list of all the categories available in ESP. You can either scroll down the list or use the search box at the top. We'll type golf here. And we're looking for the golf/polo shirts unisex. So we'll click on that. And you can choose up to 2. In our case, I only need 1. We'll click the option and then select Apply. You'll see here that our category has been added to our item. If you made a mistake or you'd like to remove that category, there's an X right here on the right that will do that for you. Once we're happy with these details, we can move on to the attributes. In the Attributes tab, as I stated previously, we can add our colors and sizing as well as the material. For our purposes, once again, we want to offer black, blue, and gray. We can rename the color once again by clicking on the rename, and then let's go to navy. We'll save that. And by selecting the hue here, we can change what hue of blue we're working with. If you know the RGB or hex color exactly, you can type that in here. And you'll see that the color adjusts based on the code that we're working with. If you'd like to create a color combo, for example, perhaps our gray shirt has a white trim, you can click on this gear to create a combo, and you'll see here that the gray is the main color. So if we select white, it will give us options as to whether we'd like it as a secondary, a trim, or an accent. We know it has a white trim, so we can click on that, and you can add up to 3. So since we know we're just working with gray and white, we'll click Done. You'll see here that it has provided a combined name here, which of course we can always change. Moving on to the product size on the left side here. By clicking Select Size, we will be brought to all the different size types that are available. If you don't see the one that you want here, there is this View All Size Types. But for this purpose, we know we want the apparel standard and numbered. Here we'll be offering what sizes we want for our color, or for our shirt. And as in our last example, we're only going to be offering from extra small to 4x. So we'll check the boxes here, and then proceed up to the top right side to edit our material. By clicking the Select Material, we can search for a material, or click on this to see a list of all materials available depending on what type of product we're working with. For fabrics, commonly blends are used to denote combinations of different fabrics. So if you had a pure cotton shirt, you could type that here. Or if you have a blended shirt that's cotton and polyester, you can click on this blend option, and it will let us choose two different materials. So in this case, we'll go cotton and polyester. And we can also choose the percentages. So we'll have a cotton polyester 50-50 blend. If you'd like, you can also rename that. Let's just say we don't want the we don't want it to say blend cotton, so we'll just do cotton poly. And we'll save that. If your product has a specific shape, you can also enter that here, and that will help with when your customers are searching your websites if you like to provide that as an available product for searching. Next, we move on to the Imprint tab. So for our custom golf polo, we always offer it as embroidered, so we'll choose that as a method. But we also like to offer it as a dye sublimated shirt, in case we have any teams or any kind of group activities that require a sublimated shirt. So we'll click on that as a second method, and we'll see here that there are two methods available. If you also sell the product unimprinted, for example, you can check this box on the right-hand side here, and this will allow your customer to choose unimprinted as an option. Once we're happy with these options, let's go to the Pricing tab. Now for this product, we would like to offer the extended sizes as a higher price because it costs us more to reach those. So same thing, our product includes embroidery. So we'll do one piece, $15. But note, I'm only working as a single price grid. I need to click on multiple price grids because we want to charge more for our extended sizes. So we'll check the size box here, which the system will warn us we have 8 possible variations. And then we can click Next Step. This will give us a list of all the different product options available for the criteria we've chosen. So in this case, we have the 8 sizes listed. Let's say you want to offer extra small through extra large as one. Then you want to offer 2X, 3X, and 4X as separate grids. So we'll check the boxes relevant to our first option, and then we'll click Save and Add Another. That'll set up a grid for those. Then we just want to check 2X, save and add another. 3X, save and add another one more time. And then we'll click on 4X, and since this is the last option we're working with, we'll just click Save Configuration. Notice that our pricing is not complete warning goes away because now we've covered all of our pricing options. Please be aware that this does reset the grid that you are currently working on. So you usually want to make sure that you're working with a single or multiple grids before denoting what those grids do or filling in prices. So as I stated earlier, our shirt comes with embroidery. We'll copy that. One piece at the normal sizing is $15. Moving into our extended sizes, once again, I'm pasting that in there, so we include embroidery, one piece. And let's say 2x costs $17.50. And as always, we want to make sure we're on the 0%. Clicking the arrows here extends these price grids. Embroidery, one piece. Let's say we want to charge $19 for our 3x on a 0%. And then we're going to do $21.50 for our 4x. Again, 0% markup. So this is the pricing for our products based on the colors, or I'm sorry, the sizes. If you have imprint methods, for example, that have an extra upcharge, we can click on this upcharges area and add an upcharge. For our purposes, the sublimation does cost more for us to do, so we want to provide an upcharge for that sublimation. When we're setting up the upcharge, we can click on the imprint method here, click next step. And for the upcharges, there's a special checkbox here that would allow us to create individual grids for each value. So let's say, for example, we had embroidery, sublimation, and silkscreen. If we wanted different upcharges for each of those, we could check all of these boxes, as well as this individual grid box, clicking apply, and we will now have individual upcharge grids for each product option that we're providing an upcharge for. In this example, we don't really need the embroidery one, so I'm just going to delete that by clicking on the right-hand side there. And we're going to expand this grid so we can start creating our upcharge. You'll see on the right here we have the imprint upcharge type. You can do other charges such as setup charges, run charges. Let's just say this is a setup charge. You can set up the charge for either per order, which means it's only applied once on an order, once it's selected as an option. Per quantity, which means once it's selected as an option, it applies once per each piece on the order. So if you order 200 pieces, this charge will apply 200 times. Or other. This applies mostly in scenarios where you may not charge for each piece, but you may want to apply the charge multiple times. Let's say you have a upcharge for adding colors to a product, but you can add that charge for different colors more than once. Say they want white, blue, and red, you can add that charge 3 times. So for setup charges, they're typically done per order, so I'm going to click on that. And the last box here is we want to make sure whether it's a required option for ordering or whether it's an optional fee that may apply depending on the circumstances. Since this is a setup charge per order, and we need to charge for sublimation, we're going to make it required. Let's just say there is a $50 fee for setting up the dye sublimation, so we only want it per one. And again, we're going to be no markup on that, so we'll do $50 on a 0%. And once we're happy with our upcharges and our pricing, we can move on to the Media tab. Here, as I stated previously, you can choose and upload images to work with your product. You can also work with the media library. On the right-hand side here, if you click Media Library, this will provide you a list of every product image that you've uploaded for the purposes of custom products. You can upload images here as well. Much the same method, you'll select the file, browse your computer, and then click Upload. Or you can work with a product image you've already uploaded. So for our purposes, let's just use this golf shirt looking item here. So you can check the box here. And then on the bottom right, you'll see a Use Selected Media box. So we can just click on that. And now we have our product image set as the default. If we had multiple images, let's just say we'll add a few more here for the sake of example, and you wanted to change which product image was shown as the default, you can always click this link here that says Set as Default, and that will move that image to the first slot. But I think the lady's image is good enough here for our purpose. If you'd like to link this picture with different product colors or options, you can use these criteria on the left-hand side. So in this case, we're going to use this for our blue as well as our gray. And you can also say that, let's say, like the black one also does look like that. And it will tie the product options to these colors. As a note, you can apply a criteria to more than one image. So if you have multiple images of that same color, let's say front, back, sides, etc., you can add that to each of the product options that it is applicable to. When you're happy with the product images for your product, we can return to the summary menu. And this will allow us to review the product details that we've added, as well as make any changes, as I stated before. If for whatever reason you make a change here, or anywhere in the system, and you don't want to move to another menu, before saving, the Save button will light up here. If this is grayed out, that means you have not made any changes, and your product is safe in that state. So once we're happy with this, we can just click Make Active. It'll check for anything that's wrong with the product that may need to be adjusted, and it'll give us a success message. Once again, this can take 30 to 60 minutes usually for a product to appear for our purposes. Now that we've created our custom products, we'll want to add them to our product collections for use in our company stores and ESP websites. So to return to the websites menu, we can click on Manage My Products here. This will bring us out of the product. And we can use the Back to Websites button on the right-hand side of the Manage Products menu to be brought back to the front page of our ESP Websites admin. To add our custom products to a collection, we can click on the Product Collections area in the blue bar at the top. From here, we'll be brought to a list of all of our product collections. If you have a collection already that you'd like to add a product to, we can just click the View link here. Or to create a new product collection, you can click the blue button in the top right corner. When you create a new one, you'll have to give it a name. We'll set it to a company level, and if you have a description that you'd like for just your company's use, you can add that here as well. Note that we cannot add a product to the collection until after we save the details in the top right. Now that we've clicked Save, this Add Product button on the right side will now become clickable, and we can add a product to our collection. This returns us to the Quick Search menu, where we, at first, searched out the product that we wanted. If you're looking for custom products, however, you can simply type your ASI number and click Go to be shown everything that's an active custom product so far. Now note, our products may not appear here because we just created them as part of the webinar, but we have some that we've created for past webinars and such. To add a product to your collection, we can click on the checkbox in the top left of the item, come up here to the top of the listings, select Mark Products, and then choose Add to Current Product Collection. To leave the quick search, we can click on the Return to Product Collections link at the top left. And we'll see here that our Port Authority Polo has been added to our collection successfully. With that, we have completed the Custom Products webinar today. If you have any support inquiries after the webinar or anytime, you can contact us either by phone, email, or chat. Our phone number for support is 1-800-546-1350, selecting option 2 from the menu. You can email us at support@asicentral.com, or you can chat us in ESP either by clicking on this Help and Support tab on the right-hand side and clicking for chat. You can also email us here by clicking Contact Support. And you can access our knowledge base, which has helpful articles, videos, and guides on how to use all aspects of the platform, either, again, by clicking this green Help and Support tab, or you can click on the question mark with the circle around it in the top right of ESP here, and you'll be taken to our knowledge base. Also, as a note, the knowledge base does also contain this Contact Us field at the top here that will let you send us an email, chat with us, or tell you the best ways to reach out to us. Once again, I'd like to thank you for attending the Custom Products webinar, and I hope you have a good weekend.